Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. I believe that's what we need to do today. I believe that we need to take a moment, each and every one of us, myself included, to go and pray. Search me, O God, and know my heart. I want to invite you to do that with me today. It's important to take time not only for self-reflection, introspection, but to allow God into our hearts to search us and to know us as He fully does, and to point out any offensive way that is in us, to point out our anxious thoughts, and to surrender them as captive to Him, to allow Him to renew our minds, as Romans 12 talks about. One of the good things that COVID has brought about, I know it sounds weird to say good and COVID in the same sentence, but God works out all things for the good of those who love Him and who are called according to His purpose. And so we can still take from this terrible pandemic, we can still learn from it. God can still teach us things through it. So as we look back on the last several months, what is He trying to teach you? What is He trying to teach me? What is He teaching us about what it means to go to church? You know, I'm sure most of us, when we picture the word church in our minds, we see something like this. A big screen, high ceilings, maybe a band standing up here rocking out to the latest worship song. You know, you probably don't picture this because I'm not your pastor, but you probably picture another handsome young man standing behind a pulpit with something to say to you. But is that all that church is? Is it just Sunday at 10:30 for an hour and a half? Or is church something more than that? What have we learned from the last several months of not being able to meet together at 17 Peter Court? Have we learned anything? I hope that this has stirred us to sit back and to reassess these things that we take for granted, or maybe these things that we put our hope in. You see, my friends, in the West, we have such a pertinent capitalist mindset that it creeps into our Christian culture. It creeps into our own ideologies about church and what it means to have a relationship with Jesus. You see, a lot of us, myself included, can approach church like a business that we go to buy a product, to try and satisfy some carnal desire inside, to make ourselves feel better, or maybe to fill the time, or maybe it's to check that box to say that we've done a good thing because going to church is a good thing, and my parents went to church and my grandparents went to church. Is it just religion? We need a relationship with Jesus. That's what saves us. Have we started to worship church in His place? You know, COVID could have been good for us to take a step back from the Sunday morning show, from the live concert and the inspirational talk, I think it's good for us to get away from that for a little bit and to really see if that's all it is. But in another sense, maybe it's just fed into this consumer Christianity even more. You know, a lot of how I spend my week as the summer student is writing, recording, producing content on YouTube like this for you guys to watch, to consume. There is a huge struggle going on that we have to wrestle with. Are we making Jesus and the gospel of Christ into a product that we sell? Or is it the power of God to change lives? Are we feeding into it with this new content-based model of church? I don't know. I hope not. I really hope not. And I really hope that God is using this not just as a 10-minute video to fill some time in your day like any other YouTube video, but that God will use this to stir you up, to convict your heart, to allow Him, as David says, to search you and to know your heart, to test you and to know your anxious thoughts, to see if there's any offensive way in you, and to lead you in the way everlasting. I hope that's what this stirs you to do. I hope that's what the Sunday morning virtual service does. I hope that's what each of the videos that we put out does. But in some days it looks an awful lot like YouTube content. Now don't get me wrong, I believe that God can use it. But we need to be alert. We need to take a step back and look and ask, why do I go to church? Why do I tune in Sunday morning? Why do I tune in Tuesday and Thursday? What am I doing the rest of the week? Am I a Christian Sunday morning at 10:30, or am I a Christian 7 days a week, 365 days a year? I'm not going to give you any conclusions today. I hope that God does. I hope that you can wrestle with this and He reveals things to you as you pray and ask Him. But we're going to keep this conversation going. So tune in on Tuesday when I'm going to invite two very good friends of mine to come in and to have this conversation with me, as we all three of us have been wrestling with this idea of consumer Christianity, surface level Christianity, lukewarm Christianity. So I plead with you to join with us in prayer and in conversation about this. We'll see you on Tuesday. God bless you, my friends.